I just wanted to say, I know I'm not the only survivor um, that has trust issues, even with God, and God knows this. I know He knows this. Uh, After all that craziness happened, and then the discard, and you're barely alive, it's very hard to be like totally on board with God after all that shit. you know, at least in my case. Because what happened to me was mainly in a religious setting, which added an extra level of God, um, the God card. Um, so, from my viewpoint, it seemed like God was more on their side, against me from my perspective growing up. Um, so that's just my opinion. So I'm being truthful and I'm being honest, that I don't fully trust God, even though He's helped me in the last few years. I take into account since my birth or my first memories. That's what I take in account. I take it as a whole. I don't take it as, oh, God helped me for 7 years. You know what I mean? God's helping me recently. I take it as a whole picture. Uh, where was where was God during all this time? Where was God during all this time? Certain things against me. Like I take into account, of uh, why God didn't help me at certain times, but then He helps me later on. You know what I mean? And so it kind of baffles me a little bit. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like you're on a seesaw of I don't know how to trust someone that watched my abuse, you know, that's helping me now, all of a sudden out of nowhere, really out of nowhere. Um, you don't just build trust in like a day, you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't happen uh, when it seemed like most of your life God didn't exist. That's what it seemed like for the most part of my life. And I'm not joking. It seemed like there was no God at all. And so now that God's helping me, it's kind of weird. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, what's the agenda? You know what I mean? What's going on? Why are you helping me now, but you weren't helping me back then at all? It's kind of like tiptoeing, like, I don't know if I trust what's going on. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the position I'm at. And I know that any other survivors that have gone through horrendous abuse, they don't just trust God immediately when God intervenes. I don't think so. I don't see it happening. Like right off the bat, like after just God not intervening for a long time, then all of a sudden He does. You're just gonna trust Him all of a sudden, It just doesn't happen, In in my opinion, it just doesn't happen that quick. Uh, so, and that's why I'm being authentic about it. Like, I really don't trust God at all. Despite Him helping me for the last few years. You know, and I'm being honest. You know, uh, I take in the full picture, the full the full life. You know, um, you know what I'm saying. I don't take in the last few years of God helping me. You know what I mean? Like it takes a lot for me to trust somebody after that kind of shit. I'm serious. I don't trust anybody, except for like uh, my best friend who's dead. I trust him. That's it. I trust him over God by far. So, anyways, that's all I wanted to say. Later.